What's up, y'all? Chef Roach here, bringing you another demo. And this one, I've been trying to kind of switch it up with you guys. I've been trying to do breakfast and lunch, and I got a snack that's coming around here soon. But I wanted to go ahead and share with you a beautiful dinner that you can make. And this dinner obviously is going to have a bunch of different things involved. I always like to have a grain of some sort, a vegetable, a protein, and a sauce. Those are usually my four go-tos when making some sort of dinner. So let's go ahead and just start cooking, and then we'll talk as we go. So when you're making dinner, one of the first things you want to focus on is going to be what takes the longest, right? So for me, what's going to take the longest is going to be my rice, my grain. So I'm going to be using jasmine rice, and jasmine rice is beautiful. I think it cooks great. It's a long grain rice, so it's usually not too sticky and clumpy. It usually separates pretty easily. So I love this rice. And what I have here are just some green onions, otherwise known as scallions. And I love to toast my rice. So if you've ever made rice before, sometimes people will just kind of like have the water and the rice, turn it on, and then that's it. It's usually really bland and just not as good as it could be if you were to kind of take a little bit more time in preparing that rice. So that's what I'm going to do today. So we're going to take some scallions. And when you're working with scallions, it's basically separated into two parts. So you have the whites and the greens. And the whites, think of the white. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you know this is pretty much from the onion family, right? I'm not pretty much, it is from the onion family. So the greens are mostly used as like a garnish, while the whites you can use literally just like onion. So it makes it really nice when you start with this and you kind of saute this to get it going. So we're going to have some onions that we're going to kind of saute to start. And without moving this too much, I hope you can see my kitchen because I'm going to go ahead and start cooking this. So I turn on a saucepan, a little bit of oil. And then we're going to go ahead and add in our green onions. All right, so I guess I never told you what I'm making tonight. What the heck? I'm going to be making a salmon dish. So it's going to be seared salmon with a little bit of a wasabi crema, green beans, and jasmine rice. Okay, so we're doing a full meal here. It's going to be delicious. Just wait. Okay, so those are in, those are going. And again, what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm just simply going to saute some of those white green onions, and I use roughly about 2 tablespoons. After they start sauteing for about 2 to 3 minutes in some oil, and I use a light olive oil to cook with, so I love the flavor of olive oil, which is why I usually choose that. Vegetable oil and canola oil should be used for baking or frying, while I love olive oil and light olive oil for cooking or making sauces. So I've got that going on, and I'm going to toast my rice. It's basically going to be half cup of jasmine rice to 3/4 of a cup of vegetable stock. So you can see what I got here. You could totally use water when you're cooking your rice. I just love using like some sort of stock, so chicken stock or vegetable stock. I happen to have some vegetable stock laying around, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. It just helps to put a lot more flavor into it instead of making it bland. Everything's about seasoning and flavor, so you'll see that theme just kind of coming out throughout. While my onions are cooking, continue to do some work. So these tops of the green onions, I'm going to cut this because I'm going to use this as a garnish. So I want to have that ready to go. And any garnish is going to be sliced super thin. Okay. Big to notice the guide hand, the grip of the knife, and the control of the product. Also the slicing motion. You don't hear any chopping. Okay. So we've got garnish kind of done, and you always want to be doing your prep work. So something else I need to do, I'll take you over here to the kitchen. And we've got our green onions cooking, so we're going to add in our jasmine rice and just sort of toast it. Smelling. Give it a nice little toast. I like to season at this point, so we'll do a quick little seasoning, just so I don't forget to do it later. And we'll do a little bit of salt. Okay. At this stage, I can add my vegetable stock. And you should hear like some action going on in the pan. That's always nice. So the idea with rice, I'm sure you're familiar. If you're not, you want to bring it to a boil and then you want to simmer. So you never want to have rice just constantly boiling. It's too aggressive for the grain. It's not like pasta, where pasta you want to continuously boil. This is so like low and slow. So after it's boiling, I just simply put it to a simmer, add my lid, and then set a timer. I mean, that's literally how rice is worked. And then I don't mess with this. I don't pick it up. I don't look at it. I wait till that timer goes off, and then I turn it off, remove it from the heat, and let it rest. So on to other things. The next item that's going to be the most time consuming is I'm going to be working with some green beans. So, I don't want too many items on my stovetop. I'm going to have the salmon on my stovetop. I've already got the rice on it. So why not utilize some different cooking methods? And I'm going to do a little oven baked green bean. Okay, so it's amazing. I love it. I'll take my green beans. Right now, these are like really bland, right? They don't have any flavor. They don't have any seasoning. So I, as the chef, have to hook it up. We'll do some oil. Some black pepper. Nice and seasoned, yeah? And we'll use some kosher salt. Okay, so remember I use kosher salt when cooking and, the finer salt when I am baking. Okay? All right. I want to give this a little bit of a toss. Make sure it's all coated. And then this is going to go right in the oven for about 15 minutes. Okay, let me wash my hands. Let me get all clean here. All right, so, just keeping track with me here. I've got my rice going. I've got my vegetable in the oven. And then now I need to work on my main product here, right? My salmon. So let me bust out my salmon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the star of the show. So, salmon, commonly described as, well, not described, but pronounced as salmon because of that heavy L. I want to let you know, I'll be the first to tell you that it is salmon. The L is silent, I guess, so to speak. And I love it. It's amazing. So salmon has a lot of health benefits for you. In particular, one of the best things that it has is omegas. So omega nutrients will help brain functions, it helps skin functions, healthy hair, just all types of benefits. Omega 9 is really prevalent in salmon. So I always try to keep this in my diet at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. And to be honest with you, it's not that expensive. It's probably the same price per pound as chicken or as any of the other major meats at your supermarket. So you can find it with the skin on or the skin off. and I'll be the first to tell you as well that with the skin on is way more nutrient dense. The skin has some of the best minerals that we can eat as humans, so I usually like to keep that on. But you can totally remove it as well if you'd like, and you can have your supermarket butcher remove it too. So here we go. Let's get to the salmon. We're gonna season this up. Olive oil. I'm gonna season my skin. Black pepper and salt. If you're looking at the skin, you're going, Chef Roach, I just still don't get it. What are you doing using the skin? Take it off. Let me ask you something. Do you have the skin of chicken? Have you ever heard of chicharrones? That's pork skin that's fried. I mean, so, I guess don't knock it till you try it. Just sort of understand that it's what people do. And if it's done the right way, it's amazing. So, biggest thing about proteins is you want to season both sides. So we're going to flip. However, I have now contaminated my hands with raw seafood, so I have no choice but to wash my hands. Here we go, 20 seconds. And this is just part of it, guys. I gotta wash my hands. I gotta get it going. Okay. So, get them nice and dry. Season the other side. Same idea. We want to get a little bit of oil. Oh. And black pepper. Freshly cracked, of course. Oh yeah, and I love a good seasoning, okay? I love a good seasoning. All right, so that's good to go. That's nice and ready. Just some last parts that I'm gonna do, y'all, is when I flip this salmon, I want to add in just a little bit of banana pepper. So this is a banana pepper that I grow in my garden. I always try to incorporate them when I can. So we're gonna go ahead and slice it up. Okay. And some nice slices on a banana pepper, so it looks beautiful. And then the last part of this, y'all, is going to be a wasabi crema, a wasabi crema. So what I have here is just some sour cream. So this is like 2 tablespoons of sour cream. It's not that much. And then this is wasabi. So if you've never heard of wasabi, that is, if you ever had sushi, obviously you've probably heard of wasabi, but if you ever get sushi, it's that green paste and it's super spicy. A weird spice though, like heat, like nostril heat, back of the throat heat. Woo! I mean, it's different. It's not like spice. It's a different type of spice. You know what I mean? So I love wasabi. The reason that we use the sour cream is because the sour cream is actually going to kind of calm it down a little bit. So you have this amazing spice. You have the crema, which is just kind of an Italian or French word for cream. That's going to kind of calm it down, but we're not done yet. We're going to add a little bit of lime zest. And probably like a half lime's worth, if that. A touch of oil, salt, and pepper. And then we're going to give this a stir, yeah? As I start cooking, I start having more things going on. So I'm working on this sauce. I've got green beans in. I've got rice going on. And then in this pan, I'm starting to get it hot for my salmon, right? So we're starting to multitask. Okay? Let's stir this bad boy up. Mmm. Beautiful. Beautiful. So you have a nice kind of sauce here. And I might work with this a little bit more here in a minute, but I got the gist of it going. Okay, let's start cooking. All right, bring it to the stove top. Okay, so we're gonna have this salmon going. Y'all, I'm gonna use pretty much high heat on this salmon. I want to get a really nice initial sear, and then I can kind of backtrack from there. So this is, a non-stick pan. I want to make sure nothing sticks. The black coating indicates that it's non-stick. Worried about my rice a little bit. I'm just checking out my rice. I have a clear lid, so I'm able to see it. And yeah, it's doing fine. I'll let it go. Okay, so let's get to this salmon. And again, I've got really nice high heat. You should start seeing a smoke here in a minute. I'm going to start with this skin side down, okay? So the reason I'm going to go skin side down is because I want to make sure that I get a really nice crispy skin. Think about like fried chicken, how you have really nice crispy skin. That's the same idea I want to do here with salmon, okay? Here we go. All right, and we're going to let that cook. Okay. So I want to make sure I point out the size of this salmon. So I'm using 6-ounce salmon, and that's usually how you'll find it in the store. They sell it like 4-ounce, 6-ounce, 8-ounce. Usually 6 ounces is good per person, so that to me is perfect. All right. Let's see, I can still get this on, and maybe I get in here too. So when you're cooking this salmon, it's gonna pop a little bit, right? Salmon has water content, and then I'm using oil to cook it, so it's going to pop back out me. The water content is gonna pop. Just be careful when you're cooking. Nowadays, I'm sort of used to it. If I get hit with a splash of oil, I don't freak out. But I know some people do, so just be cautious when you're cooking something like this. It could pop at you, okay? All right. So when cooking salmon, I guess I technically kind of have two options. The tongs or the spatula. I'm always going to go spatula when working with fish, okay? Tongs are going to be for pork, beef, chicken. Spatula is going to be for fish. The reason being, dot, 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 do you know? Reason being is because it's more delicate, all right? It's super delicate. So it can break, it can tear, it can rip. Um, yeah, look at that, y'all. So I got some awesome color. I mean, this is super crispy. And then I'm going to continue to cook this. Matter of fact, at this point, my gosh, my like computer is getting greasy. This is right in your face. This is right in your face cooking. Um, the idea is to get crispy outside, but I need to make sure it's cooked on the inside, right? So I went ahead and I lowered the heat. And we'll let it finish cooking, okay? I would say all in all, you're looking at about 6 to 7 minutes on a 6-ounce salmon like that size. Maybe 8 minutes, but it's really not that long, okay? The worst thing you can do is if you overcook that. If you overcook that, it's going to be dry, it's going to be rubbery, it's not going to be palatable. So we want to make sure that we cook it beautifully, yeah? Okay. One thing I'll do is we'll sort of base this. So this is a method that's called basting, and it helps to keep the fish nice and moist. Culinary technique that's used usually only in nice kitchens, yeah? Okay. All right, let me kind of get this ready to get finished up here. One thing I am gonna do is my rice is done. So I want to flavor the rice with 1 tablespoon of butter. Same is done. Pull it off. Let it kind of gradually continue cooking. 1 tablespoon of butter. Use a fork to fluff. So if you've never heard that term, fluff the rice, it means just sort of take a fork and do this sort of motion. Makes it really nice. And we're going to let that rest. So let it sit. No heat. Good to go. Both these items are finished. What do y'all think? We're gonna get ready to plate, okay? So at this point, we've got our salmon done, we got our greens done, we got our sauce done, and then we're really just letting those green beans just finish. They've been in for right around like 9 minutes, so they're gonna take maybe 3 to 4, and then they'll be good, al dente. We can pull them out, and we can start plating everything. So, oh, one thing I did want to do, I had these awesome banana peppers. I'll throw these in with my salmon. I'll give it a quick season. And one last thing I wanted to add. I just had some extra spinach. Spinach and fish go really well. It's gonna be nice, yeah? So make sure you season. Salt and pepper. All right. Y'all ready for this? Sauce, guys, the one thing I want to do is it's a little thick, so I want to thin it out a little bit. I'm going to use just a touch of warm water. And I'm going to use a splash of lime juice. Okay. The other lime I'm going to serve on the side so they can put it over their fish. They as in, I guess, me or the customer. You know how it goes. All right. We're about ready, y'all. Let's get ready to plate. Beautiful fish, sauteed spinach, and banana pepper. Green beans. Beautiful. And here we go. This is probably the most important part because this is presentation. This is how you make food look good. So I'll do 2 different styles for you. Okay. The first style, I'll do what I would naturally do. Grain goes down, middle of the plate. And second style, I'll put it towards the side. So the way I look at plates is they're like my blank canvas, and I can create on top of those plates. So it's a lot of fun when I work with different styles of plates. Okay, so we have a nice rice mixture. I got a little on the edge here. Clean that up. Let's take our salmon right on top. And this salmon, I want to go a little different. I'm going to try and showcase that sauce on the side. This sauce, I want to go right over the top. So just two different ways of plating. Okay. We will take our green beans. I'm going to have some hugging over. And then some right here on the edge. Two different styles. We'll crisscross them. You always want to build height, yeah? Always build height. Finally, our spinach and banana pepper mixture, beautiful veggies. Put those on top. Put those on top. Wonderful. Okay. And then let's garnish. So I want to make sure I put a little lime wedge so you can squeeze it on top. Lime wedge, squeeze it on top. These are sesame seeds. Make for a wonderful garnish. Okay. And let's go around there and pick this up there. Okay, y'all. So we have two wonderful dishes. These are a seared salmon with a little bit of banana pepper and spinach, a wasabi crema, some jasmine rice, and some sauteed green beans with a little bit of lime squeeze. You know what's coming next. The best part, my favorite part. Let's try it. Okay? So, let's see what we got here. I'm really excited for this. I have two plates. One's going to be for the wife. One's going to be for me. I'll try this one. Oh. Oh, the crunch when I go through the salmon and then it's so juicy and delicate on the inside. We'll get a little rice. Oh, the salmon is just falling apart. Okay, here we go. Mmm. Mmm. Ton of flavor. The wasabi heat, the cream. The salmon's cooked perfect. Seasoned well. Love the rice. It's a wonderful dish. And glad you guys watched it. All right. See you later.